the guys who don't know me, my name is Untitled. I'm a consultant at PQR in the Netherlands. And I'm also a Citrix CDP, REST, CDP, and I do some blogging at my own blog, untitled.com. My primary focus is on Citrix ShareFile and also on XenMobile and Netscape. In this session, we are going to talk about XenMobile deployed in an enterprise environment. So the enterprise environment will mean, based on a scenario that we did in the Netherlands, a hospital where we need to deploy 700 devices for patients. And the patients were, as soon as they come into the hospital, they will get a iPad, and the iPad is used for everything. They can call a service, or they can call for assistance, order food, and especially use the core application what is used in the hospital. So the agenda for today is the situation, the goals that we need to reach, the supervised mode, what is used by Apple, the Apple Configurator, the device enrollment program that is available at Apple, and then we also have the volume change program. We'll show a demo and do a short wrap-up. So I said, the situation was a hospital, pretty huge. They've got a new building, 700 devices for patients. They also do another environment for corporate employees. But that's split into another XenMobile environment based on licensing, because you can't combine device-based licenses with user licenses in one environment. And the main thing is the core application they have. The goals were, at least the enrollment needs to be streamlined. They do have a room service employee. The room service employee needs to be able to. The room service employee is just an employee that needs to be able to reinstall the iPad, and they don't need to have any knowledge of the device itself. The other goal was that they don't need a personal iTunes account. Privacy is very important. Freedom for the patient, so the patient needs to have freedom on the tablet, use several applications. And in case the device is stolen or lost, we need to be able to trigger and to locate the device itself. So that was the goal that we need to reach and where we need to build a solution for with Citrix XenMobile. The supervised mode, what is an Apple mode that became available back in iOS 7, iOS 8. It's a mode that you can configure the device into a special admin mode. This is ideal for corporate-owned devices, where you can put the device into a kind of admin mode. Remove the activation lock. We can block, for instance, iCloud access and App Store access. Disable wallpaper, passcode changes, etc. This option is only available when you do factory default level deployments. So as soon as you unbox the device, then you can use or configure the supervised mode. Of course, you don't want to do this in a bring your own scenario. Nobody wants to have a supervised device with their own device. With iOS 9.3, there came a lot of new features available for this. For supervised mode, like lost mode, where you can trigger the device, home screen options. You can put a message on the lock screen. Black and whitelist applications is very important as well. Well, those are a lot of options that are only available via the supervised mode. This is a screen dump of the Apple Configurator.
You can select supervised mode just from the beginning when you power on.
Yeah. Now you have to use the Apple Configurator or the device enrollment program, and then you say, I want to supervise this new device. So our first option was the Apple Configurator, where we have a OS X device with Apple Configurator installed. With the Apple Configurator, we can create a light touch deployment. Means we do still have to put in or use some, provide some options during installment. The MDM enrollment is optional. Keep in mind that the profile installation you won't see the profile installation as a user. An Apple built the profile installation, especially to have an agreement while we're managing this device. So this option gets skipped because the profiles got installed automatically. So make sure to communicate to the user that it's using the device. We can use the supervised mode, as said. This is only available for factory mode devices that are in factory default mode. So if you have a device already that is configured, you have to factory restore it, and then you can configure it in default mode. The light touch deployment is also described in a blog. I wrote it a couple of months ago. So if you want to see how it goes, see my website. So how do we start configuring the Apple Configurator device enrollment? Within XenMobile, we configure the Apple Configurator enrollment via the iOS bulk enrollment option. As soon as you turn it on, you will get a URL. You need to note to write us down, and you will use it later in the Apple Configurator. Here we require the device registration. What is optional, but we want to manage the device, so that's why we select it. And as soon as we enable the bulk enrollment, you will see that Works Home is automatically downloaded as an application to the XenMobile server. And there will also be a device or a delivery group created where the Works Home application is assigned. So this is all done automatically. Here we assign the Works Home application to the delivery group as a required app because we need to, or we want to have installed the application as a required app, so not that the user needs to select it after they sign into the device. Next, we configure the Apple Configurator. As said, it's a tool that you can download from Apple, install it. We create our server up there, and then put in the URL. The URL that we copied to the clipboard or something, wrote it down. And as soon as we select the server, all the certificates will be aggregated by the Apple Configurator tool. Then we have to create a profile within the Apple Configurator where we can specify several options. Again, this is just the Apple Configurator. You can use it without XenMobile as well. So in this profile, I don't want to provide that much settings because I want to control them with XenMobile. So this is just the baseline to make connection to the XenMobile environment. So what we do, the only setting we do here is specify the Wi-Fi settings. So as soon as the device boots up, it makes connection automatically to the Wi-Fi network to connect to the XenMobile environment. As you see, all the options come available, like allow removing apps, for instance. That's an option that's only available in supervised mode. So by default, a user can wipe all the applications from the device. If you put it in supervised mode, you can block them for removing the applications. After that, we need to create a blueprint where we assign the profile we just created with all the settings in it. and the blueprint we can assign later to the device itself. So as soon as we connect the Apple device to the OS X machine, like my MacBook for instance, you see the device coming up. Alright, we put it in supervised mode in this scenario. There's an option we have to select. The supervised mode, it's a setting that you connect to the blueprint. Then we can configure the setup assistant. Well, the setup assistant is, as you unbox a device, you get several questions. Do you want to enable location settings? What is your Apple ID, etc. You can skip them by configuring the setup assistant, deselecting all those steps to make the enrollment of the device as smooth as possible. So here we only select the location service because, especially in this hospital environment, we need to enable location service to track down the device. So that's why we require this to turn it on. So then we have our blueprint with all the settings enabled. We save it, and then we connect the iPad to the MacBook and apply the blueprint to the device itself. As soon as we apply the blueprint, the device will reboot and will use the settings we specified in the blueprint. So you see the Wi-Fi network is selected automatically. It knows the password. And we see that the device is configured or can be configured by the configuration profile. There is an option to skip the configuration. There's no way to get rid of this message. So in worst case, they select, I don't want to apply this blueprint and do all the things automatically. So after we enable location service, we got into the home screen directly, and we need to sign in into iTunes because Works Home needs to be installed. And that's a problem because we don't want to use personal iTunes accounts. So, well, it's a chicken egg problem. You can't get rid of this message or of this option with the Apple Configurator. That's a pity. So after we sign into iTunes, Works Home will be downloaded. And we can sign into Works Home and get all the applications automatically that we configure there. So Apple Configurator is easy to use. It needs to be wired to the MacBook or to another OS X device. You can do multiple devices at once by connecting to a USB hub or something. So if you have to do it bulk, you can say 10 devices or something. It's not zero touch, and an iTunes account is required, that we saw. Another limitation of this is that the MDM profiles can be removed by the user itself. So we cannot lock down the device. So actually they can, if they know how this works, they can make the device and manage by themselves. The other option we had was the Apple Device Enrollment Program. What is a cloud-based service offered by Apple. And here, with the Apple Device Enrollment Program, we can create a zero-touch configuration. We also can put the devices into supervised mode. This requires enrollment into the MDM solution. It's only for new devices. That means as soon as you order a device, you have to order them by authorized reseller. And then you have to send some IDs for the device enrollment program to your reseller, and they need to link the devices to your device enrollment account. So this is a pretty important step, because if you ordered 100 devices already over the country by MediaMarkt or something, then you can't use this. So contact your reseller. Can we use the device enrollment program? Are you willing to assign the devices to it, etc.? I can create an ID for you. This is my ID. So pay attention to that. When using the online tool, the Apple Device Enrollment Program, pay attention that you need to put in two-factor authentication. So this is done via SMS, so you need to register the mobile phone number for each applicant. If you remove a device what was managed by DAP from the portal, it's forever managed. You can't put it back into the device enrollment program. So removed is removed. To enroll for the device enrollment program, you need a separate account, not an iTunes account. It's what they call a enrollment account, or a Apple program account actually. This program account, I said, that can't be an iTunes account. Then we need to add administrators that needs to be managed the device enrollment program. We need to link our XenMobile environment, assign devices, and then deploy devices. So if we want to use DAP, we also go to the iOS bulk enrollment option into the XenMobile server. We do not select the Apple configurator, but we do need to specify the DAP configuration for this. As soon as we enable DAP, we can export our public key. We need to save, and we will use it into the portal. So we export the public key, go to the Apple device enrollment program online, and put in our public key up here. Public key is read by the server. You need to give it a name, and then you can download the other key, which you need to import back into the XenMobile. So it's a kind of two-way handshake. After we import the key, we have several options. Those are like the options we saw earlier in the device enrollment or in the Apple configurator. Require device enrollment, supervised mode. And here you see enrollment pro for removal. Should it be available for the user or not? And this is pretty cool because here we can deny pro for removal, which means that the user never can make the device and manage themselves. So we say, I'm sorry.
That's only available when you use that.
Yeah, that's only available with using that. We also can say pairing devices is allowed to multiple devices or not. We can deny it here as well. So this is what we want to deny because users don't need access to the device on their own laptop or PC or something. And also we have all the setup assistant options. So here you also see that we only enable location services to get available after you turn on the device. So again, if we do the DAP enrollment, you'll see we have the Wi-Fi network. Then we get a message that the iPad is being configured or the iPhone is being configured automatically. And we can't skip the configuration, so we are required to have those options streamlined to the user without, so we require them to be managed. That's it. And then again, the device comes up and it asks for iTunes account because we need to install Works Home. So we're still in a bad situation because we don't want to use iTunes. And this is where we go over to the VPP by having a short summary on the DAP program. It's more easy than using the configurator. It's over the air. You don't need an on-premises MacBook or something to manage the device via the configurator. The devices are always managed, but you still need an iTunes account. And make sure you run the devices via authorized reseller. So the Apple Volume Purchase Program. This is what we are going to use to get rid of the iTunes account per user. We can manage the distribution either on user-based or device-based applications. Device-based applications, that's pretty cool because you can assign an application to a user, to a device rather than to a user. Also for the Apple Volume Purchase Program, we need to enroll ourselves into a portal mode. Also not allowed by an iTunes account. We can use the same ID we used for DAP, that's cool. We need to add administrators, and then we need to purchase our applications or books or what you want to deploy. So we go into the volume purchase portal page, and we say, I want to get 1,000 applications like Works Home, for instance. Even though they are free applications, we still need to order them because they need to be aggregated into XenMobile. So here you see we ordered 1,000 Works Home applications, Angry Bird, Citrix, Receiver, etc. So all the applications that we want to distribute to the user or to the device, we order via the volume purchase program. Then we configure the VPP program within XenMobile server. This is also done by the company token, like a handshake that we do within the VPP portal. Actually, it's based on the administration that the administrator account can log into the VPP cloud solution. And then you see after we configure this that all the applications are aggregated automatically by the XenMobile server from within the VPP portal. So no need to configure all those applications, they will be aggregated automatically. Then we need to assign those applications to the delivery group. And as we saw earlier, we do have the device enrollment delivery group, where we can assign the applications to. But the device delivery group is based for device enrollment. So we assign the applications to the delivery group, and then we finally get rid of the iTunes account because the applications are now, Works Home is now connected to a delivery group that is a device delivery group rather than a user delivery. So this means the device comes up, it's doing all the DNB stuff, and then it's connected to XenMobile, and XenMobile says, hey, we need to push those applications to the device. The device is connected to XenMobile. The user is not signed in into Works Home, so the device, if you see it in Works Home, it's still registered not to a user, but as a device, an unknown user. So you see Works Home is installed automatically without the need to sign into iTunes. Then we are going to sign into Works Home. And by signing into Works Home, we get all the other applications that are assigned to the user-based delivery. So this is what we want. The Works Home, the base application, is installed to the device, and then it's got a connection with XenMobile, and all the other applications were pushed down to the device as soon as we sign into Works Home. So I do have a demo what is provided by Citrix, how this all look like. Hopefully you can read it. So the device comes up, we select the Wi-Fi network. Here we type in the password for the Wi-Fi network. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Then the device got activated in the DAP. The location service were enabled. You can sign into the work store up here already, so it will use the credentials later for Works Home. So you see the iPad is ready, and as soon as it comes up, Works Home got automatically pushed out to the device because it's based on a device-based license. So Works Home is there. We open Works Home. It needs to know the credentials by the user because Works Home didn't know that it belongs to that user. So we sign in. The user was there already because we typed it in during the enrollment wizard. We enable location services, and we're there. Now we can push applications or select, well, we can say users are able to download the applications by themselves. So with the volume purchase program combined with the device enrollment program, you get a complete solution that you can automate iPad or iPhone enrollment without having the need for iTunes and make the wizard, the startup wizard, easy to manage.
So the only downfall is that the user will get all the applications that are in the program, right?
No. The applications will be pushed to the user because after they sign in to Works Home, only Works Home is pushed down.
Okay, so it's still user-based.
Yeah, you can say I will push all the applications to the device, then they will all be pushed at the same time. But what we now do, we can say different application groups.
Okay.
because that applications, unless works home, will be pushed to the device, and those applications will be pushed to the user group.
Okay, just making sure that that's still an option, so
Right.
thank you.
So iTunes account is not required. I also made a blog post about this if you want to see how that works. So the wrap up for this, we do have two options. We can go for the configurator or use the device enrollment program. That is ideal in large environment because you don't need all the on-premises stuff. You don't need to provision each device. It gets connected to DAP always, so the device gets unboxed, is registered in the DAP portal by the authorized reseller, and then connects to the DAP portal as soon as they boot up. So our Apple device is only consumer focused. I think they're not. You can use them in a corporate environment more and more. And then the volume purchase program, yeah, that's a great addition to the Apple device enrollment program because we can push applications automatically. That's perfect for our setup where we have our service user or the one who don't know yet the IT and how to configure the device. They can reset the device, it comes up automatically, and that's pretty cool. Also consider then the supervised mode, because those are the corporate-owned devices, and you can get more management to the device.
Also with the volume purchase mode, the client is the user is unable to delete the profile.
Yeah, especially with the device enrollment program, they are not able to go into profiles and say, I want to remove this profile. There is a volume purchase program business guide if you want to read more on it. Also for the device enrollment program guide, Citrix has done some documentation on this, how you can configure it. Thanks to my colleague Jean-Paul who did a lot of research on this. Thanks. So, any questions? I don't know how we do on time. I think it's good. Anybody used it before?
Yay!